Welcome. This is a strategic guide designed specifically for senior leadership at U.S. and multinational companies. We're going to dive deep into one of the most immediate and foundational requirements of the EU AI Act, the mandatory AI literacy obligation you'll find in Article 4.
First off, let's talk timing, because the deadlines here are absolutely critical. The AI literacy rules we're discussing officially took effect back in February 2025, and now, with enforcement starting on August 2, 2026, national authorities across the EU are kicking their supervision into high gear. The time to prepare is over, the time for compliance is now.
A common mistake is thinking this is just a European issue. It's not. The AI Act was written with what's called extraterritorial reach, and what that means for you is pretty simple. If your AI systems produce outputs that are used inside the EU, your company falls under the Act's rules. It doesn't matter where your headquarters are. This is a global compliance event, period.
So here's our game plan for this guide. We'll cover the Act's global reach, walk through your core literacy obligation, break down the critical difference between being a provider versus a deployer, talk about designing effective role-based training, and then lay out a high-level action plan. We'll finish up with next steps and a very important disclaimer.
All right. Let's really cement why this needs to be on your leadership radar, even if your main office is thousands of miles from Brussels.
Let's make this real. Imagine your US-based company is using an AI-powered tool to screen job candidates for your office in Paris. Well, because the output of that AI, the candidate list, is being used in the EU, your company is now defined as a deployer under the Act. And just like that, you have to comply with all the responsibilities that come with that title.
And that brings us right to the heart of this guide. Your core obligation under Article 4. The legal text itself is pretty direct. It says both providers and deployers have to take measures to ensure a sufficient level of AI literacy. Now, pay close attention to that phrase, to their best extent. This isn't a rigid one-size-fits-all command. It's what's called a standard of reasonableness, meaning what's expected of you will depend on your company's size, your resources, and the specific AI systems you're using.
So what does the Act actually mean by AI literacy? Well, think of it as the foundational competence to make informed decisions. For you as a leader, this means making sure your teams get it. They need to understand not just the incredible opportunities AI presents, but also its inherent risks, so they can use these powerful tools responsibly.
The European Commission has actually laid out some minimum expectations. As a leader, you need to make sure these 4 pillars are in place. First, a general understanding of AI across the entire company. Second, real clarity on whether you're a provider or deployer for each system. Third, a clear-eyed view of the risks tied to each specific system. And finally, training that is tailored and relevant, not just generic.
Now, that point about defining your role, it's a big one. It's absolutely critical we dig into this, because the responsibilities for providers and deployers are very, very different.
Let's put it simply. A provider is the one who creates the AI and puts it on the market. They're on the hook for all the heavy lifting, like technical documentation and conformity checks. A deployer, on the other hand, is the one who uses an AI system for their business. Their main job shifts to doing their homework on the tools they select and making sure they're used properly and safely.
And here's where it can get a little tricky. Your company is probably not just one or the other. You might deploy a third-party AI for your HR department, while at the same time being the provider of an AI that's embedded in your own products. This means you have to go system by system to figure out exactly what your responsibilities are in each case.
Okay, so understanding those roles directly leads to our next step, designing training. And this can't be just a check-the-box exercise, it has to be a strategic imperative.
I think this quote from MIT Sloan just hits the nail on the head for a leadership audience. AI literacy for executives isn't about learning to code. It's about connecting AI to the big picture: strategy, governance, risk. It's about equipping you and your fellow leaders to ask the right questions and provide real, effective oversight.
So how do you actually structure this? A great way to think about it is in 3 tiers. Level 1 is your baseline. It's for everyone. It covers the basics of responsible AI use and your company's policies. Level 2 gets more specific for functions like HR or procurement, focusing on the risks relevant to them. And Level 3, that's the most intensive training for the people who are directly operating or overseeing high-risk AI systems.
And let me be crystal clear about that Level 3 training. For high-risk systems, it's not just a good idea, it's a direct legal mandate. Article 14 of the Act specifically requires that the people tasked with human oversight must have, and be able to prove they have, the necessary training and competence. This is a non-negotiable compliance point.
All right, let's pull all of this together into a practical, high-level action plan you can use to start guiding your organization's efforts.
It really boils down to a simple 4-step framework. First, assess. You have to know where you're starting from. Second, tailor. Use that assessment to build training that fits the different roles and risks in your company. Third, document. Document everything. Create a clear record of your efforts. And finally, monitor, because the regulatory landscape is still evolving.
Now, on that point of documentation, you might be wondering if you need to hand out formal certificates. The short answer is no, the EU has said that's not required. But keeping a detailed internal record, who was trained, on what, and when, is an absolute best practice. If a regulator ever comes knocking, that documentation will be your best evidence of due diligence.
Okay, as we start to wrap up, let's cover the immediate next steps and a critical disclaimer that you need to take to heart.
It is absolutely essential to understand that this guide is for informational and strategic purposes. It is not, and it should never be seen as, a substitute for qualified legal advice that's tailored to your company's specific situation.
So, the definitive call to action from this guide is this: your organization must consult with qualified legal counsel. They're the only ones who can truly help you analyze your specific systems, determine your precise obligations, and fully assess your risk under this new law. So I'll leave you with a question to take back to your leadership team and to your board. Regulators expect effective oversight from the top. So the question is, how will your board ensure that AI literacy and compliance are being actively managed and governed across the entire organization?
Because ultimately, getting AI literacy right is so much more than a compliance task. It's a strategic enabler. A workforce that truly understands both the promise and the pitfalls of AI is absolutely fundamental to driving responsible innovation, to managing risk, and to creating sustainable long-term value in this new era.